And we're live.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second episode of the LPE Podcast. Today, we are joined by my co-host, Isaac.
What's up?
And our special guest, my roommate, Vinny.
What's good?
Also, sitting off to the side doing our fact-checking is Andrew from last week's episode.
What's up, everyone?
Yeah, because we did not have that at all in the last episode, and we really needed it last
Don't
episode.
quote us. Don't quote us.
Okay, so to start off every podcast, we like to have our guest tell us a little bit about himself and what kind of games he's played and how long he's been playing games. So, Vinny, take it away.
Well, I've been playing games my whole life pretty much, but I'm not like a hardcore gamer, but I'm a casual gamer, I guess you could say. But yeah, I've had most of the major systems over the years, PlayStation 1, Nintendo 64, and then, I've always kind of switched, as most people, Xbox and PlayStation, but right now I got my PlayStation 4 and that's what I'm on. Still a casual gamer, but doing what I can,
Right on. So what have you been playing lately?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. The last one I got, I think it was Far Cry 5, right?
Yeah.
Was it Far Cry?
So,
yeah, it was
yeah.
Far Cry. And
Well,
I beat that one.
I did buy you God of War.
That's right. Yeah, you got me God of War, and I haven't beat that one yet. But I think I told you before, like the games that are really involved, as is that one.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not.
It's not as involved as you think it is.
To me, it just seems like it is. But that's why I really like Far Cry a lot, was because it was so easy. I was just like,
yeah,
go ahead and do whatever.
Is it the story that makes you feel like it's involved, or is it the
No,
mechanics?
it's just it's the mechanics. It's just there's so many things you got to remember, so many controls now these days. I feel like there's just a lot going on in games. It's not where that's what I liked about like Halo back in the day. It's just you aim, you shoot, you kill. That's it. Now it's like there's 20 different menus you can choose from all the time, and you have to pick all this and pick that, and you change all this crazy armor. What I don't even know. I don't even know what I'm saying sometimes.
No, I get what you're saying.
But
there was a game that you and I. Oh, it was Destiny. Destiny drove you insane.
yeah, it's a tough one to get used to.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not though.
I've been having a hard time getting used to it. I've been playing it the past maybe 3 weeks.
It
Yeah.
sounds like it's the RPG elements that they're adding into.
I think so.
Is
Almost
what's-
every
is
game
what's
is like
getting-
an RPG now.
Yeah.
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 Even Assassin's Creed is now an RPG.
Right.
But
They
I think
have
Call of
guns.
Duty is an RPG. Oh, it kind of always
What?
was.
They have
though.
guns in Assassin's Creed.
no, no, that's FPS that you're thinking about, first person shooter.
Role playing.
RPG is a role playing game.
Gotcha.
Building your character and
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Shit. What was I? I was gonna say something. I wasn't.
We're
say
talking
something.
about the RPG elements of
the
of
RPG
games you're
elements.
talking about.
But yeah, it was. That was actually one thing that really intrigued me about getting back. I love RPGs. RPGs are my thing. The only one that I couldn't really get into was The Witcher. That one was really. Vinny, you would
The
hate
Witcher.
The Witcher.
I bet I
I
would.
got burned by the way. I told you. Right?
Yeah.
But then again, I guess one of my favorite games is a heavy RPG.
Yeah.
And that's
Which is what?
Skyrim.
Oh, shit.
Skyrim and all the Elder Scrolls I've played since Morrowind, and I love those games. But it's more of it's really straightforward for an RPG.
Well, the beautiful thing about the Elder Scrolls games is that they're. Man, I am sweating like a freaking dog
you
right
are
now.
sweating very.
I don't know
hard.
what's causing it. But the beautiful thing about both the
Maybe you didn't run the AC before the episode.
Yeah, I know,
last
right?
time.
Damn.
You got sweat dripping down.
I got sweat dripping down
Holy
my face.
shit.
Yeah. The one thing that I do like about all the Elder Scrolls games, though, is that they actually have maintained the same gameplay style. Now, I never played Morrowind, so I'm guessing Morrowind is pretty much the same as
More or less.
where they've been.
Same.
And even the Fallout games are still kind of keep the same mechanic.
Yeah, it's true. But
as
Fallout 4 had me kind of
Poor
frustrated for
Poor
a while.
Vinny, he had some issues with Fallout 4.
I definitely love Fallout 3, but Fallout 4 and it was just hard. It was really hard.
What was it about Fallout 4 that gave you difficulty?
There's just so many things I just could. It's just like now you can it's complicated, dude. It's complicated. There's like you can build like entire like towns and shit.
Yeah, but you can go the entire game without doing that.
I know, but and then like to do that sometimes for like certain missions you gotta like connect like power and all that, and then you gotta get parts and like it sounds like it's not that like, but that just makes it more involved, I feel like. And there's all those same thing, all those different menus, and you gotta learn the ins and outs of the controls and this and that. There's so many things you have to remember for that game.
I hope Fallout 76 isn't too crazy.
I've actually heard that it's not as bad as people thought it was going to be. That it's actually pretty. There's a lot more space than a lot of people thought there wasn't going to be. Yeah, you don't really run into that many players.
Are you going to get Fallout 76?
Probably will, yeah.
I wonder if
I still don't know about the whole like just getting a nuke and nuking someone's shit randomly, but
well,
yeah, that's
we'll
crazy.
see how it turns out.
I'll let you know I'll touch base on that in a second. Okay, Vinny, you had a thought.
Well, I was gonna say I feel like it's gonna turn out kind of like the Elder Scrolls Online, where it's gonna be either loved or hated by people, and it's not gonna get a really super positive review, but maybe not a super negative review, kind of like on the edge.
I'm gonna probably have to agree with that. So just an FYI about Fallout 76. Apparently, it's any PvP player versus player options are going to be completely optional. Like someone can't just
from the lobby settings.
Someone can't just run up and try to kill you. They have to like prompt like a duel or something.
Oh, okay.
Or if they if they do kill you, and I'm not entirely sure about this.
They get like some sort of penalty.
I think so.
Like
yeah.
GTA style.
Yeah, okay. Something like that. So and then speaking of GTA, this is I was telling Vinny about this yesterday. So on Facebook, you can go back through and look at previous memories of things that were posted on any given day. And yesterday, it was a post. It was a post that said just had like it was like from 4 or 5 years ago, and it said
GTA 5.
When was it? Was that like 6 years ago when GTA?
That was
5?
like 2013.
Was it 20? So it would be like 5 years.
Yeah.
And it was just like I just had a killer sesh playing GTA 5 with Vinny and this other friend. I won't name his name, but this other friend of ours. And I was like, we're gonna do it again tomorrow night.
Yeah.
GTA 5 was fun.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Now it's been, they're still going strong with it. It's almost like, when is GTA 6 gonna be? I think they're going to be focusing obviously on Red Dead for a long time. But
I think so.
When are we going to hear about GTA 6? That's
not
the real
until
question.
it's going to be close to releasing it. Rockstar
You think so?
It's got to be 2020.
That sounds about right.
They're gonna take this whole next year after Red Dead to try and create something else.
No, they're already started.
If they're working on it, they're already working on it. The thing about
it's probably gonna take a year.
The thing about Rockstar is Rockstar like Ubisoft and a few other gaming developing companies out there. They're very
secretive.
They have multiple studios like all around the world.
Yeah.
And so like Ubisoft has like Ubisoft Montreal and somewhere else. I don't know. But each gaming studio works on a project, or at least will start a project, and then as other projects finish in different studio branches, they all start working on it.
Yeah.
So
they also don't make big announcements until really close to the release date. Yeah.
Kind
of like how Bethesda does it.
Well, I know that Bethesda finally announced Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah.
But they said that it's like
that's just kind
that
of
was like barely an announcement though.
Yeah.
Just kind of like it exists.
It was their way of saying, "Shut up, guys, we're working on it."
Yeah. It's almost like I wish they didn't say it because it's just kind of like.
Well, what? I think for some fans of the Elder Scrolls series, it was kind of like, ease of mind, peace of mind.
Yeah, that's true.
I just know that they're not going to redo Elder Scrolls 5 into some other platform.
What was it? They're releasing. They're doing another. No. That was something else that they're doing. I think they have stopped doing that.
But it's going to be next gen though.
Yeah, it's going to be like
Elder Scrolls.
It's because it's coming out after their next. What was the name of that one? Their next.
Oh yeah, the Starfield.
The space one.
Is it Starfield?
Yeah.
Starfield.
Is it? Oh, yeah. Good job. Like I didn't know.
I forgot it too.
So
That's the one I'm most hyped about. Too.
It's because it's coming out after Starfield,
it's probably gonna be like a Mass Effect or something kind
and
of
then
deal. It'll probably. I mean, it would be like both Elder Scrolls and Fallout, but in space.
Yeah,
which is probably kind of filling that gap for
there's another 4 years of my life.
I know, right? Yeah. As we said last week, Isaac and we didn't beat Skyrim for the first time until last year?
I barely platinumed a bit this year.
Oh, you got a platinum on it?
This year, yeah.
Fuck.
But I still didn't get the trophies for the DLC. But the main game, yeah.
Yeah, you finished all the DLC, right?
Yeah, I finished. Actually, I did. Yeah,
you did. You completed.
Everything.
You completed everything.
Mm-hmm. See, but I mean, there's still so much you can do. I mean, I haven't platinum it, but I've beaten all the last one I beat was was it the Dragonborn one?
I think so. I think it was
the one with like where you go in that you're like with all the vampires.
Oh,
Dawnguard.
That one was dope, dude.
Yeah, that one's fun.
I need to play Dawnguard.
That one's fun.
Yeah, you go into that big old castle and like there's like gargoyles and stuff.
Isaac, have you played Fallout 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you
not as much.
Oh, but I was gonna ask if you played any of the DLC for it.
No, I haven't. I've only played the Nuka World.
Oh,
because the main thing that I didn't like about Fallout 4 was that the game seemed to steer you into being a good guy, whereas New Vegas and 3 you kind of had the option really to do kind of whatever you wanted.
They did take away that karma system, didn't they?
Yeah.
And
but then with Nuka World, you're able to be the raider.
You'd be able to be a bad guy.
So that's what appealed to me.
It always felt like with Fallout 4 that if you wanted to be a good guy, you went with the railroad, and if you wanted to be a bad guy, you went with either they were creating the synths. What was that company called? I don't remember.
Oh yeah.
or the Brotherhoods of Steel. That was the way of becoming the bad guy.
It's like the industry or something. Or
was it the industry? I don't know. We sound like idiots.
I forgot. Yeah, I completely forgot.
Look that.
But I haven't played too much of it. That's why I don't remember it. But yeah, my favorite one is still New Vegas. New Vegas is still my favorite.
No.
The third one isn't the third one where if you beat the story you can't do anything after that.
Well, the thing is, like, that's where the base game of Fallout. The Institute.
Mm-hmm.
Vinny was on top of that, Andrew. Vinny got that before you did.
Yeah, I've never played any Fallout.
Well, no, you're supposed to be typing it in. It's okay. You're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. The Institute.
The Wi-Fi hasn't been that great.
Oh, really? Is it still slow?
It's still.
I told you
we're
that.
still having a little bit of a problem. I just got it back up and running.
Oh shit.
No,
Whatever.
but back to Fallout.
So, go back. Yeah, Vinny Fallout.
Well, what I was gonna say is, I still haven't beaten Fallout yet, Fallout 4, but and I probably will. But I don't know. There's just something about it that's not as appealing as like Fallout 3.
You know what it is? It was because they stopped doing a pause in VATS.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, and it was a big game, and everyone seemed to love it, and it got really good reviews. But like, I still enjoyed Fallout 3 more.
You know what? I did too.
But I haven't beaten it yet. So
I did like Fallout 3 more than Fallout 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. New Vegas is my favorite, but I did like 3 more than 4.
It's sort of like also how I think I might like Oblivion more than I like Skyrim, but
I like Oblivion more than Skyrim.
But there's no way I can really play it right now. So
it's a bummer that Bethesda is like remastering Skyrim up the ass, but they won't go back and do Oblivion, and Oblivion is the one that they should be doing because Oblivion is really good.
Yeah. Oblivion was the best one.
I think the most they've done with it is put the game and all the DLC on PS3 and 360.
You know what's a bummer? You know what pissed me off was what they did was before they did a remaster of Skyrim, officially released it, they remastered it and said that they wanted to make sure that like the technology was up to date for Fallout 4, and then they decided to release the remaster of Skyrim. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Did I think that's what they said. But like, shit, I could be saying wrong information again.
I just didn't even know that they did that. So
it
already doesn't make sense.
They remastered something that they claimed was never going to be released, And it could have been Oblivion. And it's too bad that they won't release a remaster of Oblivion because
Yeah,
Oblivion
maybe
was
it's just like a nostalgic feeling too. Because once the next one comes out, we'll be like, oh, Skyrim was dope. You know?
Well, the thing is, like I think for me when it comes to it, like Oblivion will always still be my favorite because the problem with Skyrim is that they've released it they've re-released it 6 times.
Mm-hmm.
They re-released it 6 times,
Right.
so it's just kind of like they don't give us a chance to miss it.
Yeah,
They're not giving us a chance to miss Skyrim.
That's true.
that is true. Yeah,
And I think they need to be giving and that's the thing is I miss Oblivion.
but also if I couldn't play
some things
Skyrim,
need to just end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Well, no, yeah, I was just saying like if I couldn't, like what you're saying is that they shouldn't have made it for PlayStation 4.
I'm saying that they
so that
should.
we can miss it, but then at the same time, it's like, man, if I couldn't play Skyrim, I don't know what else.
Well, the thing, well, no,
that's really all I play. Right?
Sure. Well, I think what I'm saying is that like with the amount of times that they've re-released it, it's still just getting thrown in our faces over and over again. I mean, it was remastered for PlayStation 4. It was made available on the Switch, VR, mobile,
deluxe editions or whatever. They remastered, and I think they did like a remastered like deluxe collector's edition or something.
They did all sorts of crazy shit with
I
that
wouldn't
game.
doubt it.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But yeah, if only they'd really do a remaster of Fallout 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
That would be sick. Yeah. But like, I think the beautiful thing though about Xbox One that PlayStation 4 hasn't done is that Xbox One has backwards compatibility now.
Right.
With some Xbox 360 games, so I might have to look into seeing if like
and that's backwards compatible where you could put the disc straight in, right?
Yeah.
With some of the games. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish they did that, but no.
There's a rumor that the PlayStation 5 will have backwards compatibility, but that's the PlayStation
Only
5
for
and
PlayStation 4.
And
backwards compatibility with what?
Yeah. With it, I don't know. I don't know. But like,
but
the thing is, it's all rumors.
Yeah.
Because there hasn't even been an announcement yet.
Right.
When I first got the 360, I used to try to put my regular Xbox games in there to see if it would play.
Did they?
And
I forgot.
It never did.
No,
it never worked.
I think it eventually became backwards compatible
like that,
too.
Yeah, it was a list. You had to look up.
I think
the list
you had
of
to
games
buy
that
a
was compatible.
certain disc for it.
Yeah, like the most popular games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I remember the launch PS3 was able to play PS1 and PS2 games.
Mm-hmm.
I still have that one.
That's right.
It's crazy.
So we've talked about Skyrim. We've talked about all the Elder Scrolls games. What other games do we enjoy playing? Or like the thing
Diablo.
Is, yeah. Vinny, Andrew, and I, we each have a PlayStation 4, and we have some games for it. And I know that Vinny and I played some Diablo 3 for a while.
Those are like yeah. We've already basically covered the 2 games that I played: Diablo and Skyrim.
Yeah.
They just have the most replay value, I think. Maybe not so much Diablo, but right? What were you gonna say?
I think I like Diablo a little bit better than Skyrim, but I never got to play the whole thing through Skyrim yet.
But see, that's the thing. Diablo is definitely one of those games where anybody can just be like, "Oh, how do I play this?" You just play it for 2 minutes, and you're like,
and you know how to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I love
those are the games I like.
Diablo.
Diablo 4.
I think they just came out with a new like DLC to Diablo, right?
No,
something like that, right?
What they did was
it's coming out.
No, it's already out, and it's called the Eternal Edition, and basically it comes with everything. So it's just a bummer for those of us who don't have we'd have to still buy we have to buy we just have to buy the
Necromancer.
The Necromancer.
But standalone.
For $15. But
I've been meaning to do that.
The problem is, what's a bummer is that the Eternal Edition is like $40, whereas like if we bought in Diablo 3 for PlayStation 4, that's $40.
Yeah.
Do you play Skyrim? I mean, Diablo?
I haven't played any Diablo.
No?
I've seen my cousin plays it a lot, and I watched like 5 minutes of it. I was like, oh, if I play this game, it's gonna be like Skyrim. I'm gonna lose so much time playing this game.
Oh, you definitely
will. I know I'll be hooked by
It's
it,
a good game.
and I know that I'll love it, so I don't play it for that reason.
Yeah, it's definitely addicting.
So as far as Diablo 3 goes, I remember did you get it like originally like on PC or anything, Vinny?
I had Diablo, I think 1 and 2. I think back
2.
in like the late 90s, I had Diablo 1. Or is it the late 90s or early 2000s?
I think it's early 2000s.
I definitely had Diablo 2 for sure.
I think everyone had Diablo 2 except for me. I never got Diablo 2.
Oh yeah, I loved it. It was way different back then though, and it was harder.
That's what I've heard.
It was really hard. Diablo 2 was hard.
But I remember I got Diablo 3 the day that it was released, and I got it from my Mac. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it was my computer or if the game I think the game itself was launched with a lot of issues.
I remember that.
And
I remember people complaining about the launch date.
So a normal game runs at anywhere between 30 to 60 frames a second.
Yeah.
And people complain if it's not at 60. A lot of people complain if it's not at 60, and a lot of people have to say, well, it runs at 30. Now, I played whatever was going on with the game or whatever was going on with my computer, I played that game at 10 frames a second.
Yeah, that's like borderline unplayable.
How do you know it played that?
Because the computer at the top of the screen, it would say what I'm running at, and it would go anywhere between 9 to 13 frames a second. And keep in mind, that's like the character would just run really, really slow.
Right.
And occasionally it would like glitch a little bit.
What
and then
year
just run.
Was that?
What year did Diablo 3 initially launch?
I want to say 2012 or 2011.
Because
I remember still being in high school when it came out and my friends complaining about it.
Yeah, I remember living in my other apartment.
Yeah, 2012, I think you're right. I'm almost certain it's 2012.
We got Andrew here.
It's May 15th, 2012.
Yeah. That sounds about right. Yeah.
I remember my friends complaining about it for like a week.
Mm-hmm. I remember seeing the trailer for Diablo 3 like way before it came out, and I was like, "Whoa,
yeah,
like this shit's like crazy."
Well, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, maybe do you think it's because that the game at the time was quite big for the? No, it wouldn't.
Nah, I think it just launched with some because like the thing is like you had to be always online and things.
There were
like
just
that.
so many people playing it.
There was a lot of people playing it.
I think in Blizzard, I feel like Blizzard games are notorious for that, right?
Yeah, they always start. Well, I mean, any big launch game always launches with some. Any big like multiplayer games launch with issues all the time.
If I do recall correctly, Overwatch had the same problem.
Overwatch, yeah.
Well, I mean,
they just have so much hype over their games that like everybody wants to play them on the same day at the very start.
Well, yeah, and along that, the lines of that particular topic, as I was saying, I like to look at my past Facebook posts, and so for the past week, because it must Fallout or not Fallout, GTA 5 must have released about this time 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
I think it was a little earlier.
It was 200013, right?
It released before
was 2013.
Before the PS4 came out.
Yeah. So I remember at launch the GTA Online was a shit show.
Yeah.
That's right.
Was it? I don't know if it was released at launch.
No,
it was released about a week later. Right?
I remember if it was a couple weeks or a month or so, but yeah, it wasn't at launch.
Yeah, and it was just everyone and their dog got online to do that, and you couldn't even get. Yeah, you couldn't even get past the first race that you had to participate in.
Yeah.
And my character got I was reading in my Facebook post because I used to always post on Facebook all the time. And it would just be, oh god damn it! I just lost my character on.
Yeah, people's characters were getting deleted.
Deleted, and I lost one of my characters, and then someone.
Right, I remember that too now. Yeah.
Someone actually, I remember I was reading the comments on that post, and someone was like, "Don't fill in the slot with a new character because Rockstar is figuring out a way to fix that."
Wasn't there something about like parking your car in a garage and then like your character like gets deleted or something like that?
I don't know. I think that might have been something weird like that. But all I know is that my character was just gone one day and I was mad.
It was very buggy. Yeah.
And then Rockstar was like, well, in order to make everybody happy, we're giving everyone $500,000 in
that's right.
Yeah.
Damn, I do remember that now.
That was fun. I did like that, the GTA Online. I like the original GTA Online from like when it was out on 360.
GTA 3.
No, for GTA 5. I guess I should. Yeah, but I've gone back to play it like now, and it's, I don't know, it just feels different being on the PS4 because everyone knows what they're doing. There's all these new features that I don't understand, and
Yeah.
Because I haven't done a bank heist or anything. I checked out before that all came out. What did I do? I played it for like the first year that GTA Online was released, and then I stopped, and then I came back when they put lowriders in the game. I played for like a week.
It's crazy that they're going strong with it, because I am still seeing ads everywhere for GTA Online, especially on like Twitter and stuff.
Yeah.
The price of the game won't drop. It's still like 40, 50-ish bucks.
Yeah, it's a steal.
Yeah.
No, it's not a steal, is what we're saying.
What for
GTA 5? It's still expensive.
It's still like $40 to $50.
Well, $40 isn't bad for a game that's been remastered.
That's
but
true.
it's 5 years old though.
And you're not getting it new anywhere.
By
That's
now,
a
it should be
pre-owned
$20.
game.
You know what I mean?
I guess because I know that, like, for example, like when they remastered The Last of Us, it was released only at like $40.
Yeah.
For PlayStation.
I think that's why they do it. They do it so that it would always be at like consistently like above like $40. Maybe that's why they do those remasters all the time.
Well, it's a cash grab.
Yeah.
But because like most games, I feel like they used to just be like, start off at 60 and then eventually, if it was a really good game, they'll end up on the platinum hits at $19.99. You know what I mean? You go to Target and you get the best games.
Platinum
for
hits. I forgot.
Yeah, well, I was
about
just telling. Remember I was asking you about it, Brent, and then you said that they already have that for PlayStation 4 now, the platinum hits or whatever. Right?
Yeah, like
those are the best games.
Yeah, the platinum hits are always the best games. Like I think right now PlayStation has Doom, and we have a couple copies of Doom in this house, and I think The Last of Us was released as a
sorry guys.
I know that's all right. Oh man, one that but I think right now the PlayStation hits are only available through the PlayStation. No, because Doom, because we bought Doom.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm surprised like GTA isn't on there, because that's like one of those classic.
I think it's because it was like
Xbox.
But then again, they released The Last of Us. The Last of Us is a PlayStation 4 hit.
I
think maybe more because of it's an exclusive.
Oh,
and
probably.
No, I don't.
But Doom isn't an exclusive.
That's right. I don't know what I'm saying.
But Bloodborne and The Last of Us are both PlayStation hits.
Yeah, those make sense because they're exclusives. But Doom,
everyone in this room should get Bloodborne, because Bloodborne.
Really love that game.
Bloodborne is so much fun.
Yeah, I like that one.
It's hard though, right?
It's let's just say
it's more than hard.
Let's just say that it's not as hard. It's not as hard as Dark Souls. Have you ever played a Dark Souls game?
We've gone over this plenty of times.
No.
Brent. No, I've never played them, and I know they're hard because you've told me. But
yeah, they're stupid hard.
Like when you say that, like I can't even like imagine, because like games can't be that hard. Really, if you keep trying, you can always chug through it, right?
Yeah. Okay. I mean.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
are they hard? Like it's
there's just a higher barrier.
Let's just say that if you can,
really?
let's just say if you can get past the first boss, you're good.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
The first boss is the hardest boss that you'll encounter in any Souls game.
Just because of the jump of difficulty of most games in the beginning. Yeah. That makes sense. And it's usually a test of like if you can get past that one, you're usually the type of person that'll get through the game.
Are these games difficult, like to like the mechanics and whatnot? Are they hard? Are they like?
I think
it's aren't they kind of like a Diablo? It's
like
a third person kind of like aerial view kind of deal.
If you had to compare Isaac, if you had to compare a Souls game, any Souls game,
they're super linear, right? They're just straightforward.
That's the thing, because I don't know what to compare Souls game to, but Bloodborne I always say is a Souls game that's just way more offensive.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is what I like about it.
Oh God,
but Souls, you can't really. There's nothing. Other companies are copying that style of.
Yeah, game. I mean, I was gonna say you can kind of compare a Souls game to the way that like The Witcher kind of handles itself. But the thing is you can't do that because The Witcher probably has its mechanics from a Souls game.
I guess you could say that, but in terms of difficulty, you could say it's like a Ninja Gaiden.
See, I've never played Ninja Gaiden.
Sigma.
I've never played that one either, but I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I think the only way that you can understand, Vinny, how hard a Souls game is if you played one.
Yeah, I know.
It's really rewarding if you get through it.
Oh yeah, like
you feel like a fucking boss if you can get through it.
Yeah.
I'll try it out.
But what's nice about Bloodborne is that like you can sort of cheat your way through that first boss. You don't have to fight the cleric beasts before you get to to the first lamp.
I feel like these games are very like low key. I don't remember hearing about them when they come out.
Oh no, they're huge.
Are they?
They're big. They're big to like people like Isaac and I who are big into like the gaming world and
these
things
are like Japanese games, right?
Super Japanese.
Yeah. Okay.
Like they're like is From Software's Japanese? Yeah, like they're super Japanese. Yeah. Like they're so hard.
Yeah.
They're so hard games. I don't play those games by myself ever because they're too hard for me.
I usually stay away from those games, but a Bloodborne just, I don't know what it was, it just grabbed my attention.
I think it's the aesthetic.
Maybe.
Oh, so they got co-op though?
That Victorian style probably what got me.
Yeah, it's really cool. The co-op is like 3 people can play at once. But what makes the co-op interesting is at certain points of the game, you can get invaded by other players.
Yeah, you have to fight someone.
And then you have to fight other players, and those other players are usually a lot better than you are.
Yeah, they're real douchebags.
Yeah.
Because they found out like a cheap, like little trick, like kind of like a early Mortal Kombat boss where they find a cheap trick they can keep doing.
Yeah.
And they'll just screw you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mortal Kombat, like in those types of games, I saw that Soul Calibur is coming out.
Oh yeah, Soul Calibur 6.
I love those games.
Soul Calibur is a good game.
Dude, hell yeah.
I got Soul Calibur 4 back in the day. I think that was the one with Yoda.
That's the last one.
That's the one with Darth Vader and Yoda, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think was the Xbox 360 got Yoda and PlayStation 3 got Darth Vader.
I want to say yes.
I want to say yes to that too, but I'm not too sure.
Yeah, me neither.
It was one or the other. It was one or the other.
I think Nintendo got Zelda.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, those games.
Did any of you guys were any of you guys ever perverted and played Dead or Alive?
No, but I know what you're talking about.
That.
Yeah.
Dead or Alive
that's like a Tekken kind of thing, right?
Yeah, I mean it's another one of those.
You can say that.
Yeah, you can kind of say that.
Like weird, stupid mini games, like playing volleyball.
No. That's Dead or Alive beach volleyball.
Yeah,
like,
that's the whole game. That's the whole game.
That's really
that's. I've never played Dead or Alive beach volleyball, but I'm surprised that I never did.
What the hell is that?
Huh?
Like why?
I don't know because see the thing is, the reason why I said that.
Sorry.
No, it's alright. I don't know what's going on out there.
I heard thunder and I saw lightning. Did you see that?
Did you really?
I swear to God.
I thought I heard thunder too.
I saw lightning.
I thought it was a motorcycle.
It was a car. Oh wait.
No, that was thunder.
I saw lightning too. Yeah.
That is
I
thunder.
thought that was a motorcycle, but that's thunder.
No, I
saw
lightning.
Soul Calibur 6 comes out next week.
Oh,
next week? That threw me
October
off.
19th.
Damn, I might have to reschedule Red Dead.
Are there any special?
No, you can't reschedule Red Dead.
Special characters.
But I know. But what I was saying about Dead or Alive is that when I mentioned that when I say that it's perverted is that is that the girls are always like half naked and like whenever they fall their underwear goes everywhere.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the whole purpose of the beach volleyball thing was just to kind of
make them jump around,
expand that perversion.
Yeah.
To like teenagers who really need to masturbate or something. I don't know.
I remember seeing that shit too, like at Hollywood Video back in the day, and I was like, ooh.
I always like, of course,
yeah.
Okay, speaking of like weird perverted games, but this is a really fun game, low key fun game. Did any of you guys ever play Lollipop Chainsaw?
No.
Have you ever?
That's the cheerleader chick, right?
Have you ever
even heard?
You
never played it.
That's a zombie game. Right?
It's the zombie game. Lollipop. What did you say about Lollipop Chainsaw? Did you say
never heard of it?
Never
heard of it. Oh, look that shit up, Andrew. Look it up on YouTube. Go to YouTube and type in Lollipop Chainsaw and watch a video. Because it's the most ridiculous thing you could ever play. It's like this weird arcade.
It was a hack and slash, right?
It was a weird hack and slash arcade game. Yeah. And you play as like this skimpy cheerleader with her boyfriend's head chained to her belt, and he'd always be making comments.
What?
Yeah. And there was a trophy. There's a trophy that if you successfully looked up her skirt, it would actually say like you're perverted, and that's what the trophy would be. Like,
at least they knew what they were.
Yeah. But
I feel like I would have liked that game though.
No, it's one of those games.
WB game.
Was it a WB game?
Yeah.
Dude, Vin, you probably would like it. It's because it's an easy game.
Meet Gillette. All right.
Juliet. sure people can hear that.
Kids are getting very horny off this.
No, that one's like 10 years old now.
That one's probably.
I think it was early PS3.
No, it wasn't.
No?
It was Xbox 360. I remember I was living in my previous apartment when I got that, so it would have been either late 2011 or early 2012 when that game came out. Yeah,
that's a lot later than I thought. I thought that was like 2005 or something.
Yeah, it was late. It was later in the 360 PS3 cycle, and it's like it's fun because each level you could beat the game in like 4 hours. I regret.
2012.
Oh, you're right there, man.
Yeah.
That threw me out too.
Yeah, because each level was like 30 minutes long, and there's only like 8 levels, and the so you could beat it in like 4 hours. I regret.
What? Sex, blood, and rock and roll. I love it.
So yeah, and on top of that, each boss was like rock and roll themed. One guy would have like a fat guitar, and you had to go like kill him, and he'd be like shooting shockwaves at you while zombies came and ran up
like
on
some
you.
Mad Max type shit.
Yeah. It was a no, not even along the lines of that. It was probably more. It was probably more like similar to what was that Jack Black game that came out?
Oh,
you know what?
That's not a Tenacious D game.
No, it's not Tenacious D.
I think I know what
you kind of know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. He just fights everyone with the guitar.
Yeah,
but that's right.
But like Lollipop Chainsaw was like, it was like one of those low key gems that I think everyone should play.
Brutal Legend.
I never played that.
That was on the PS2, I want to say.
No, that was 360. I don't think.
Wow.
Yeah, it was 360. Yeah.
And I've heard even that game itself is pretty good.
Yeah, it was it was one of those games that like it's like it's good, but like it's like a cult game.
Yeah.
Like and it's kind of like what I would. Oh, was it 2009? Mm-hmm. It's one of those games where like that the people who know of it are like, yeah, that game was crazy. What else was we're all like I know like I've noticed that a lot of us in here they like Vinny and Andrew in particular like they did a lot of gaming on the 360. What were some other really good games?
Like low key games
during like the 360 or even like the PlayStation 2 era.
Damn, that most people weren't playing.
Or just any game. Like what were some other like really good like.
Dude, I know there were some good games I had, but I remember them.
What were some other really good ones?
Yeah, for PS2 right now, the only things I can remember is Oblivion. I would always play Oblivion. I would always play Baldur's Gate.
Was Oblivion on? No, Oblivion wasn't on PS2, was it?
PS3.
It was on PS3. And
no, they re-released it for PS3. It was on.
Oh,
really? It was on PS2.
Damn. Was Oblivion? No, that was no.
Where's Andrew?
I don't think that's right.
I think it was very early.
If you want to look at it, you can go ahead and look at it. Oh, there he is.
Look up the release date for Oblivion.
Yeah, look up what console Oblivion was originally.
I want to say it was PS2 because I know for sure PS3.
Because
but I thought that was
the thing
re-release.
is, Morrowind was on the first Xbox. But I think the thing though is I think
it came out in 2006. It says platforms 360, PlayStation 3, Windows.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah, I don't think.
But 2006.
2006, yeah.
Wow.
The PlayStation 2 was still around in 2006.
AJ just texted me and said Final Fantasy.
What? AJ must be watching.
No, I talked to him before the podcast. He's probably watching. Shout out AJ.
Wait, can they all hear us right there?
Yeah, they can.
But how loud is it? Like,
I don't know. They can.
Look, he's commenting right now.
Oh wow.
Hey, fuck Final Fantasy. I didn't play that shit.
Dude. Okay.
I'm sorry, but
no. See the thing.
You guys probably love that.
See, the thing is, you've never given Final Fantasy a shot. Have you ever given Final Fantasy a shot?
I never have. I don't hate it, but I never have because like, dude, it's too much.
It's just too. It's just too.
You know what? That was like my opinion. But like I think like anybody, I think if there's a game that can get you possibly into Final Fantasy, it's Final Fantasy 15, the most recent one. It's so simple.
And then I see these like 12-hour bosses on.
12-hour boss.
No.
Okay. So tell me I'm exaggerating.
No, okay, yeah, you're exaggerating.
No, I'm not.
No, you're exaggerating a lot. So what you're talking about is like the
Final Fantasy 10,
the Final Fantasy 15 Mega Tortoise Mountain thing. I don't remember what it's called because I've never played it. But that boss did take 2.5 hours.
And it's completely optional.
It is completely optional.
Yeah.
But you get a fatty trophy if you beat it.
Damn. Can't do it.
Yeah, I haven't even been in Final Fantasy 15 yet, but Final Fantasy 15 is a lot of fun.
I feel like if you're into Final Fantasy, like you're really into Final Fantasy.
But see,
that's the only way you can play it.
I'm not that way though.
Kind of like
That's crazy because everyone I know that likes Final Fantasy really likes. There's no one that's like, I kind of like it. Everyone that likes it really likes it. That I know. But yeah.
I mean, I guess I must be like that small percentage that's in the middle.
Maybe you really like it and you don't know it.
Yeah, maybe. But the thing is, I've played like back in the day, I played Final Fantasy X and I played some of Final Fantasy 7, and as much as those games are legendary in their own right, because 7 and 10 are probably the most iconic in the series.
You should pull that forward, Andrew.
They
Who's commenting? Anybody commenting? Keep going, Brent. Sorry.
Yeah, they're really hard. They're hard to play because they are really involved, and it's unfortunate that I never did get a chance to like really get into those games. But Final Fantasy X came out when I was like 12 or 13, and when I was 12 or 13, I just wanted to kill things.
Right.
Like, yeah, there's so many of those games. Like, when did Final Fantasy 1 come out? Like, when the hell was that?
Can you look that up real quick?
Final Fantasy 1, and what did it look like?
Just
it was obviously...
I think it was like the NES or Super Nintendo. I think the first Final Fantasy.
You're out of my wheelhouse, man. I don't know what to tell you. I just know that there's a couple that released over in Asia, and they wouldn't release here, and they have different numbers for. Yeah. I just don't know.
What does it say?
It says NES and Game Boy Advance.
Oh wow.
Well, GBA that would be Game Boy Advance, right?
Yeah.
They must have been re-released on Game Boy Advance because it was like.
So in 1987.
Sounds about right.
That's crazy. I didn't know it's that old. I figured maybe late 90s.
Because like they release a new Final Fantasy game every few years.
I wonder what it looked like at that point.
It looked like a Pokemon game.
Yeah, right, there's not too many series that are released that often and for that long. But
Final Fantasy, did you know that Final Fantasy 15 was in development for like over a decade?
It was another name, right?
It was
Versus?
It was going to be Final Fantasy 13 something rather, because it was just those characters, that particular story. I think what people need to understand is that particular story was in development for over 10 years.
Oh, the story. I was going to say.
Yeah.
So
I do know of that. I remember that. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, but it's fun. Like, the only thing is that Final Fantasy 15, it's just kind of like you play as a boy band. Not really, but like that's what they look like.
And so they're MMOs from what I...
No. Final Fantasy 14 is an MMO. Final Fantasy 14 of Realm Reborn.
That's the only one.
That's the only one.
And how does that work? And where do you play that on?
You can play it on PC or PlayStation 4.
I feel like
I've played it around here
I'm probably gonna get a lot of shit for this, but like I feel like there's really only one that I can consider a true MMO, and that's World of Warcraft.
You know what? I mean,
it's the ultimate one.
I mean, that's
it's just like
that's the OG as far as as far as MMOs go.
It's just like that's I mean, it's the biggest. It has the most people.
Mm-hmm. Is that Star Wars one still running?
Oh yeah.
Swatter.
Battle or
use words. Star Wars. The Old
I just know
Republic.
of it as
Swatter.
I just know of it as that because my friends would call it that. But I didn't know what the acronym stood for.
Star Wars. The Old Republic. I haven't heard about that game in years.
Yeah, me too.
What do people play that on now?
It would only be PC, I think.
Yeah, that was only PC.
I mean, you're saying it's not? No one's playing anymore.
People might still be playing it, but I haven't heard anything new about it in a long time.
Hmm.
It was kind of, it tanked. Like in the grand scheme of things, it tanked.
Yeah.
But yeah, World of Warcraft. Like, I think Vinny and I are the only ones here that have ever like gotten deep into World of Warcraft.
Yeah. I played it one time and I couldn't do it. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, I haven't really gotten deep into it. Like, in fact, I never even had like a level 60 ever.
Oh, really?
Never.
It's all right.
I got to like I got one character to like level like 45 or something.
It's crazy.
And like, yeah, it's just like it at that point, like me being a casual gamer, I was kind of like, man, how do people have like 10 characters at 60? That must
takes
take
over your life.
Hours.
It takes over your life, and that's the thing. If you play World of Warcraft, you play World of Warcraft.
Yeah, and I think I mentioned this on last week's podcast, but I consider myself a constant recovering World of Warcraft addict because I know that it's a drug to me. Like it is very much a drug to me and if I start playing it again, Vinny's always around here going, Brent, let's go. Let's get back into World of Warcraft. And I know that he's joking.
I'm slightly joking.
Half of the like,
it's
okay,
joke.
It's a half joke. Yeah. But like in my head, I'm like,
if you really were down, I'd probably be like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. I'd be like,
but both of you have Macs.
I bet if both of you got PCs and
you can play it on a Mac.
Oh, you can?
Yeah,
you can play on Mac.
Gamers.
Wow. I was just so bad at World of
laugh
Warcraft,
at you guys.
but I still loved it.
No, like, World of Warcraft, like the first time I played it, it consumed my life for 6 months, like easily 6 months.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I got most of this. Like talking
about that gut. That's not a beer gut.
Well, no,
that's a World of Warcraft gut.
It is gut. Like okay, so the original gut that I had before I lost the gut and then I gained the gut back. The original gut that I had, that was easily my World of Warcraft gut.
It's a WoW gut.
And it was a WoW gut, and I had it for like several years before I finally got rid of it because I started playing World of Warcraft after I graduated high school in 2008, and after when you graduate high school, unless you go straight into college or go straight to work, you don't do anything.
Right.
And I had enough. I had all this nice graduation money that I could not do anything for 6 months. I took a break for 6 months, so I sat on my ass and I played WoW for 6 months, and I gained like 40 pounds.
Yeah.
It was bad.
I remember when I first started playing WoW. I was so young and like I didn't even have a job, well, obviously I didn't have a job. I couldn't work, and so I was like trying to figure out like how the hell can I get like my dad to buy me like credits to play or like the monthly subscription. I was like $15 a month. That's fucking crazy. I'm not rich, Like,
yeah.
$15 a month is a lot. Like,
it is though.
Like,
is it still 15?
It adds up. Yeah,
that's what people were saying about the Skyrim MMO.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it started out as a subscription.
Is it free to play now?
Yeah.
Oh,
well, you buy it once. You buy the game,
and then they probably depend on microtransactions.
Oh,
probably.
Well, that makes me.
But it started
way
out
more
like
inclined
it started
to buy
out
it
like
now.
that.
Oh, really?
I'm almost down to buy it. Yeah.
Is it on consoles now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get it for PlayStation and Xbox.
No way.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Should we get into that shit?
I got to look more into it, but I definitely.
I have to go back into it.
Trying to get me an Elder Scrolls gut?
Nah, dude. At first, I got to beat Red Dead.
Oh yeah, we got Red Dead coming out in 2 weeks.
Big one. If there's one game I'm excited for, it's definitely that one.
And we definitely talked about. We've talked about and even though it's only the second episode, we have talked about Red Dead some. But the thing is, like every week something new comes out that just makes me like jizz my pants over like games and like Red Dead 2 will be, as I said last week, it'll be the most impressive game this year.
What if it just sucks?
It's not.
I know.
It's not going to suck.
I was just on the Rockstar website right here, and they're promoting it like heavy.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Every other thing was Red Dead Redemption 2.
It's gonna be.
I was going down the page.
It's gonna be their. I mean, every game that they release is always bigger than the last. So the last game that Rockstar released was the last big game that Rockstar released was GTA 5. Mm-hmm. This is gonna overpower GTA 5 by a 1,000, like a lot.
Just like GTA 6 will overpower this one.
Oh yeah, when GTA 6 comes out,
that's gonna be the biggest.
It's gonna be the end of Red Dead Redemption 2.
That game's gonna crash so hard the first day.
Which one? GTA 6 or Red Dead Redemption?
Probably both, but I was talking more GTA 6.
What's gonna be nice is that Red Dead Redemption 2, what they're doing with the multiplayer, and they're releasing Red Dead Redemption 2 online a month after the launch of the game.
Oh, so it's not gonna have online?
It's a smart move.
And I think that they're gonna open it up to beta to everybody. There's gonna be a beta, and then they're gonna release the main thing, which is probably a good idea.
Smart move. Yeah.
I think that's wise that they're doing a beta, so that way.
Keep going.
Do you have something?
Oh, it just right here. It says GTA could take 3 to 4 years.
Well, yeah, that's
GTA 6.
GTA from this point.
That's fine. They're
point?
giving Red Dead time to breathe.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
from 2018.
Well, good.
That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm a huge supporter of giving games the time that they need to like be complete.
Do you think it'll ever end up like the movie industry, the film industry, where it's like, because right now the film industry is like cranking shit out really fast? You know, do you think the video game industry will be that like that? Where
they crank. If you think video games get cranked out every week, there's new
games, but they're all by different developers.
Yeah, but are you talking about like?
I'm saying like I feel like
you're talking about like big time movies, like how big time
how Marvel
nowadays there's like 20 blockbuster, there's like 50 blockbuster movies a year, whereas it used to be like you got to wait till June for the biggest movies.
It's easier to make movies than it is to make video games.
Right, I think but eventually
I think the games are getting too big.
They're getting crazy. I know.
The worlds are getting too big that you could roam, and that shit probably takes.
Yeah, to make that
months and months and months.
Well, it's only going to get crazier. I mean, by the time, dude, in 20 years, you'll be able to physically be inside the game.
I think less.
Or less.
I think less. I mean, we already have VR.
VR's already here. Yeah,
VR's already here.
VR is going to be like way more realistic. Right now, VR still is kind of.
It's going to be like. Have you guys ever seen like the movie? What would it be?
Has anyone tried VR?
You know what? I haven't, and like I definitely want to try it. Is it really that good?
I tried it for Doom. I mean, it's not great, but I mean, I tried it for Doom and I like almost threw up.
I want to try
in like 10 minutes. Yeah.
Like what do you mean? Like and just by motion sickness?
Yeah, and I'm not that kind of person. Like I can ride like roller coasters like nothing. But like I tried Doom in like 10 minutes, I felt like throwing up. But I tried Skyrim and I was fine.
Oh really?
Yeah.
What exactly? Oh, the PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
So is that?
I haven't tried the Oculus or anything like that.
Okay.
What was that?
That's a good one. Is the PlayStation one a good one? You think?
Yeah, because I played on a PS4 Pro. Yeah. It was smooth.
And what do you?
For the most part,
it comes with like the goggles or something. And
yeah, a little headband thing.
So really, all VR is just a screen in front of your face that makes it feel like it's big right in front of you.
Yeah, that was the main thing to get used to. Is like there's a screen like literally an inch.
Yeah, see that would probably bother me.
Yeah.
I know I do want to try it for Resident Evil 7.
Oof.
Because Resident Evil 7 was the first.
Yeah, that gives a whole new dimension to like horror games.
It was the first game that they promoted heavily for the VR system. Yeah. They're like, this game was built with VR in mind. Go check it out on VR. I think every copy of Resident Evil 7 is VR compatible.
Enabled, yeah.
Yeah. And I do want to try it for that someday, but honestly it's like whatever. Like I'm not
I watched a video today and it was a robot doing parkour. And this robot was jumping from
I think I've seen that kind of stuff
to
before.
step to step, and then it was like jumping over things like hurdles and like shit like that, and then at the end it does a fucking backflip.
Okay.
The robot sits there and does a backflip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like what gaming can get into is going to be crazy in the next 10 years.
Well, yeah, I mean, like that's a good point because like with that kind of technology, yeah, there's definitely something that can be done in the world of gaming. Eventually it will almost be as if we're going into another, like, you got games like you got movies like Ready Player One, or even that movie. What is that? That movie Gamer. Did you guys ever see Gamer with Gerard Butler?
I was gonna mention that right now too.
Yeah, I mean
I wouldn't say that we're controlling another person, but we'll be so immersed that it will almost be as if like we are physically within that game world.
I think instead of having a screen in front of you, they're just gonna hook up some wires to your brain and you can like go inside. It's gonna like put you to sleep almost, but you're inside a game.
Yeah, like that's how it's like weird shit like the Matrix, or what was it that Elon Musk was saying on the Joe Rogan podcast? Or who was it? I think he said someone said that there is a like a 50%. I think it was during the Elon Musk podcast that he said that there's a 50% chance that we are already in
a simulation.
That
was Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
Yeah, he did say that.
Yeah.
Because he has a hard he has a hard time believing that the Earth has been around for billions upon billions upon billions of years. Well, it's probably like 4 billion years old, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Like 4 points, yeah.
And
6, some shit like
and that it's hard for him to believe that we have only advanced this far. But like in reality, like I mean, if what we believe is true in history, humans have only like Homo sapiens have only been around for about what 50,000 years.
I don't think it's that hard to believe though, because I mean, out of everyone in the world, how many people are like Elon Musk? How many people are as smart as him?
Not very many, right?
Yeah,
not in his field. There's nobody.
So for him, it just seems like common sense for these smart things to happen, just because he's so smart. But there's people way dumber. There's a lot way more people way more dumber than him.
On the podcast, he mentions that AI is going to take over in 20 years, like artificial intelligence and shit.
Happening.
And do you think that games will come out to brainwash you?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
brainwash
so say virtual reality gets so like evolved to where that's the best games out there, right? Is it virtual reality? Do you think that they will create games to brainwash you into thinking things?
What do you mean?
They already are.
I mean, they already are in a way.
Brainwashed by video games.
But imagine, all games virtual reality where you put everything on and everything
it's like
around you is a world.
Yeah, imagine imagine in the future if you can like go inside of a game and it's like Call of Duty or something, and you're like, and then you get like PTSD from that shit.
There's
I
like
really thought about that.
to some extent. I get what you guys are like. I do believe that it is very well possible that can happen because in society as of now there already is some level of mass brainwashing that's going on. Mm-hmm. We're all scared because everyone tells us to be scared,
right?
Things like that. So I'm trying to always, as a big fan of video games, as someone who just loves gaming, I try to be against that argument because I am not gonna go out. I refuse to believe that people are going and shooting up schools because they play Grand Theft Auto.
Right.
That's a tough subject though.
But that can be kind of in this area of quote unquote like video game brainwashing.
Right.
Yeah, is that true?
What I could see though is like if we're gonna do wars like with drones and robots and stuff, and they rely on people to control the drones, they would go after gamers.
There probably is some low key like subliminal messages in video games as of now. Like,
do you think it will get to the point where parents will start not allowing kids to play video games?
I mean, they do that now.
They already do that.
Well, yeah, they already do that now, but to a point where it's like.
It's so realistic.
It's
like,
so
no
bad that no parents are like, no, you can't play. To where games would be like 18 plus, or 21 plus.
I remember I had to sneak, till midnight when everyone was asleep to play Vice City.
Yeah. I was on the same level. Like my parents definitely did not want me to play GTA. I mean, it's kind of. I mean, if you think about it, it's probably smart. I mean, if you're in a game, you're just fucking killing people on the street. I mean, who knows what sort of effect that shit will have.
Well, here's along this lines. Here's a story. So when I was working at Target, it was a day that I was back working in electronics or something. I was helping out in electronics for some reason or another, and this woman comes up and she's buying GTA 5 for her like 10-year-old son, and she's like, what can you tell me about this game? My 10-year-old son wants to buy it. And I was like, I couldn't, like, I know it was I know that like as part of my job, I should have just let her buy the game. But I told her, you should not let your 10-year-old son play.
It's like you don't want to.
Which is the right thing to do to warn them, like, hey,
because I mean,
you don't want to be that guy, but you kind of have.
I mean, like there's a straight up torture scene that you take part in a torture scene,
right,
in GTA 5, and like, if it was just kind of if you're just kind of running around and you're killing people, whatever.
There's definitely some questionable shit in GTA.
GTA 5, like it's a very interesting game just because like it is in the way that it portrays society as of now. It is like an over exaggeration of today's society. But the thing is, with an over exaggeration, it's still saying, oh yeah, this is how society exists.
Right.
Yeah, it's just exaggerated.
Yeah, it's just exaggerated a little bit, but like.
But it's kind of how it is.
But it's how it is, and the fact that she was gonna let her 10-year-old son play this game where like you take part in the torture and you take part in like doing a bunch of questionable shit. Like the thing is, like I would have sold her a copy of GTA San Andreas. I would have sold her a copy of GTA Vice City because Vice City, they look goofy, they look pixelated, whatever.
Right.
But the thing is, GTA 5 is super realistic in how it looks. It's still GTA 5 is still a really good looking game.
Yeah.
And like as much as I love GTA 5, GTA 5 will always hold a very special, significant place in video game history. It is not a game that anybody under the age of 15 should be playing.
I mean, yeah, when you think about it, like some of the main things in that game are like the most fun things are literally just like killing random people in fucked up ways and then like trying to like evade cops and like that shit. If you think about it, like that's kind of fucked up. Like if you're like 10 years old or something, you're like, whoa, like that shit's tight, dude.
Yeah.
You know, and then damn, who knows, like. I mean, yeah, like I said, you don't want to be that guy, but fuck, man.
Yeah, because you feel like you're robbing that kid of that whole game. But you have to be like, hey, this is what this game is.
It is a rated M game, right?
Yeah.
So the thing about parents nowadays is like they ask the worker, hey, what do you know about this game? Is it okay for my 10-year-old son to play this game? But, you know, you can't see a rated R movie, right? But people don't look. Well, you can, but they're not going to let you in the movies if you're a kid, right?
No, a rated R film, a parent can bring in any age child if they're with them. The only
with the parent.
The only rating that a child isn't anybody under the age of 17 cannot see is NC-17.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, you know, with rated M games, I don't think parents know what that even means.
No, they don't. And yeah, because like a lot of parents are stupid.
Yeah. I think most parents, they're stupid, but most parents do know of GTA.
Oh, yeah.
GTA, I would imagine so, yeah.
If they know of one game, it's definitely that game. That game is notorious
that one
for
and
that
Doom.
shit.
Yeah. But you know what's crazy is like I have played much more bloodier, gorier games than like GTA. But the thing is, about GTA is that the violence is super realistic.
Which was, I was about to say, going back to that point. What?
Strip clubs, yeah, I know.
I was about to say, going back to that point, I was 4 or 5 years old, and one of the first games I played was Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah.
I was doing fatalities at like 4 or 5 years old, but they're, you know, it's claymation, so it's like, or not claymation, but it's like
it's very animated.
It's very animated. It's not realistic, so my mom was fine with it. But as soon as I played, she watched me play God of War and saw the titties pop out and stuff like that, and like Kratos getting stabbed through his chest, and she was like, "You can't play this game."
You know what though? I think this is what I think. I think the rating system should definitely be changed because if you have a game like GTA, that's definitely not cool for kids. But like, you got a game like Diablo, like why the fuck is that M? Like, no kid's gonna fucking do anything after that. They play Diablo.
I think it's just
fun. Like,
it's blood and gore.
That's dumb as hell.
Yeah.
I think that's.
Do you think there should be an age limit on buying games?
That's what I'm saying.
There kind of already is. So like
for M games,
for M-rated games,
you have to show your ID if you're.
For M-rated games, it's like an R-rated film. You have to be you have to be 17 years old to buy it on your own. You have to have proof of. You have to have photo ID, or a parent has to buy it for you. And then of course there's adult. There's
adult only. I think it isn't even sold in stores.
Yeah, you
know,
have
to
I've
buy
never
that
even
online
seen
somewhere.
one of those.
I've never seen.
But I know it exists.
The only game that I know of that's ever received an adult rating was GTA San Andreas, and that was because of
San Andreas was.
That was because of something that wasn't even in the game.
That was because of a glitch. No, it was in the games. It was in the game, but it was in the files, and so it had to hack into the game.
And it's still that rating.
It basically what happened was it was in the first, I think it was in the first in the first and second editions of the release of GTA.
It's called like coffee something.
Hot coffee, yeah.
Hot coffee, yeah.
And it was in the first and second editions of the release of the game. So anything like I think in the first like 3 months of the game's release, it was in the game, and it was in the basically every game that you can find. If you know how to access it, you can get into the game's files and you can see what is accessible and what isn't accessible, because a lot of times they don't remove what isn't accessible. It's just kind of like a lingering file off to the side, and if you know how to hack into it, you can find it. And some guy knew how to hack into it and found it because it was an existing game. It was an existing mini game where you got to like
it was like sex.
You had to have you could have
Very
sex with your
sex,
you could have sex with your girlfriend, and some guy knew how to get into the game and hack into the game. And then a bunch of parents were outraged, and they're like, "Oh, this can't be in the game." Blah 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 blah. And then so that particular version was rated A. And then but the thing is, Rockstar went in, made sure that they completely removed it from all the files of the game, and then they released it, and then they continued to release it, and at that point it was given the M rating. I believe that I'm accurate on that. Don't even worry about looking that up, because that is like the gist of that
basically,
story.
Yeah. The only other noteworthy case that I know of is I think it was called Manhunt.
Oh yeah, Manhunt.
Play as some dude that has like a pig mask.
Oh, that's a recent game, isn't it?
No, it's pretty old.
I think I've heard of that.
Yeah. So Vinny, you haven't spoken in a while. You're big into like kind of like you played a lot of computer games.
I did. I played shit ton.
Let's talk about some of these computer games that you played. Now you're big into Roller Coaster Tycoon. Okay, so.
Hell yeah.
Tell us a little bit about Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Roller Coaster Tycoon 1, which I was pretty young when that one was around. I didn't know how to play it really, but I was definitely deep into Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. But even before that, I was playing a lot of games. You know what games I was playing before that were? I played like Myst.
Oh yeah,
okay.
I've heard of Myst.
There was this other game that I always tell people about, but nobody has ever heard of it except me. I'm the only person that knows.
What game is that?
It's called 9: The Last Resort.
I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of that, dude.
Dude, this game is
it?
old. It's like a Myst game, but that game is crazy. I will never forget that game. And I remember I had like this babysitter. She would come by, and she was like into games too. And she would come by, and her and I would play it, and she would like kind of show me how to do it. But it was so hard. It was such a hard game. That game was a trip. And I guess like it was some of the voice actors in it were like famous people.
Oh really?
Yeah, there was like I think it was like some people from like Aerosmith, some of the guys from Aerosmith.
Whoa.
And it was like who else? I don't know. That game is a trip though. Look that shit up. 9: The Last Resort.
9: The Last Resort. I'll check that out.
That's a weird
Okay,
game.
let me ask you this. I think was it you who told me? Did you ever play the Putt Putt games?
Oh yeah.
Did you ever play Putt Putt?
No, but
have you heard of Putt Putt?
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Dude, Putt Putt was fun.
Yeah, Putt Putt, Pajama Sam.
Putt Putt was the car, right? Yeah.
Putt Putt and Pajama Sam and all those games from that company. It was called E Entertainment or whatever.
Oh, okay. That sounds about right.
Or is it E Entertainment?
I don't know. But did you ever play like Putt Putt Goes to the Moon?
Of course. Putt Putt goes to the circus. Putt Putt goes to the zoo.
Putt Putt was so much fun. Did any of you guys ever play? Speaking of like PC games and like learning games, did any of you guys ever play like the Jumpstart series? No?
I'm not sure if that's the one I played, but there was some sort of game like that. Yeah, it was like a learning game, an educational game.
The Jumpstart games were always fun. There was one for each grade. There was, and I think I played Jumpstart 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, and then there was a typing one.
I think I played that one.
Jumpstart typing.
Yeah,
that one was fun. It's too bad because those I would play those games now. I should go online and see if there's emulators for those games because they're just silly, fun learning games that they're just stupid.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go on record and say that like Windows Pinball was one of the greatest games ever.
Dude, there was Windows had pinball, but there was actually a game that came with the early Macs. We used to have one of the Macs that came out in like the 90s. It was like the all-in-one.
Was it one of that dinosaur game?
It was the dinosaur game.
Yeah, I remember
shit
that.
Was dope.
That game was hard.
Yeah.
It was so hard.
You were like a raptor, and it had like
you had a jetpack and you had guns.
Yeah,
that game was hard. I remember what that game was.
It
was on the original like IMAX.
The
ones that had the colors on the side.
One. Yeah,
those were.
We still have one. We have the blue one. My
way.
Dad's got it somewhere.
Oh man, you should find that and hook that thing up. We could play that dinosaur game.
I think they're worth a lot of money now.
You know how many hours I spent on that pinball game?
How many hours did you play playing that pinball game?
Minesweeper,
a lot.
That?
Dude,
Minesweeper.
Especially at school too.
I was terrible at
Minesweeper at school, pinball at school, like all that.
It's so funny. Like, it's so funny because like younger children, they don't know what Minesweeper is, and like mine's like, and people are like, how do you like? And then I'll put it Minesweeper in front of like somebody who's younger than me, and they're like, how do you play this? And like,
and if they do know how to play it, oh, this is so fucking boring.
But Minesweeper is probably one of the most stressful games you'll ever not play.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I think I forgot how to play it by this point. But...
So basically, how it works is, so you click on like on a tile, right?
You pick the blocks.
Yeah,
so you click on the tile, and let's say that tile says 3. That means that three of the surrounding tiles have
a bomb.
Has a bomb.
Yeah.
And I just remember like it took me forever to figure that game out, but like that is a hard game. Minesweeper sucks.
But it's also awesome.
Yeah, it's also awesome.
That's Space Pinball though.
Yeah, what was that game? What was it called? Space Pinball?
Yeah, it was Space Pinball.
Yeah, that game was fun. I was really good at that.
You'd get to a certain point and the pinball would stop in the middle of the game, like in the middle of the board, and then it would like shoot it off all crazy. Like, yeah.
What was like the highest score you ever got on that, Andrew?
I think I got to like 2 million.
I think I got up to around 3 million.
My mom fucking beat me one time. She got me like 4 million or like 3 million.
And like getting to 1 million is hard.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah, getting to 1
Did
million.
she play it at all, or did she just like show up one day and was like, hey, you suck at this game?
I don't know what it was. She was probably just bored as fuck, and she would get on the computer and just play pinball because she would see me playing it like as a kid.
Because my grandma did that with me on Tetris. Like, I thought I was really good at Tetris, and she just like shut me down.
Yeah,
I was actually pretty good.
She fucked my high score up.
Yeah.
Nah,
but yeah, Roller Coaster Tycoon. All right, that's the good one.
Roller Coaster Tycoon.
That's the good one.
It was
Roller
pretty
Coaster Tycoon
sick.
2.
I don't know which one I played, but I played one of them, and I think it was on a system. I believe it was on like a game. Are you? Are you sure they didn't?
If it was, then it was some weak shit. I'm telling you, Roller Coaster Tycoon for PC I don't think they had it on Mac. That's the best one with all the expansions. And actually, they just released...
Yeah, they had it for the PS2.
They just released Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic, which is 1 and 2, as an app. And you can do everything just how it is. And like...
Just on mobile?
They have
it's
a
like,
PS4
it's
VR.
$7, the best shit I've ever... It's the best app ever made, honestly. Get that shit.
Did you guys hear someone... A few years ago, I read this article or something. Someone created a roller coaster in Roller Coaster Tycoon that it would take literally like 100 years for it to be done. Did you hear about that?
I think so.
Did you hear about that? People create crazy shit.
Like 100 years to write it, or 100 years to like finish it?
I think in
right.
real time it would take 100 years for it to be completed.
No, not.
Or was it in game? 100 in game?
Like to build it.
No. To write it. Like
to write it.
He made it. I think he's saying like they made the ride in the game and then. Because in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 you can actually ride the rides. Like it has like a little simulation. So what you're saying is like it would take 3 years.
Over 100
years to ride.
Yeah.
That one in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3.
They have a video right here that says longest roller coaster in Roller Coaster Tycoon ever, 210 days.
210 wow. 210 days?
Which
I thought it was years.
Tycoon is that? 3 or 2?
I don't know.
It doesn't specify.
I'll know by looking at it.
Let's play the video here.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Fucking ads on YouTube now.
Yeah, it doesn't specify.
They're
It just
long.
says Tycoon.
Well,
Yeah, we'll see after that. Oh, you're not sweating as much. You're kind of good now.
Oh man, it's fucking hot.
Yeah.
Here.
That's 2?
210 days.
What's it? Move around.
This could be 1 actually, but 1 and 2 look pretty much identical. So
that is crazy.
That's just dumb. It's just going in like a
it's
circle.
in a circle.
Oh yeah, it's just going down layer by layer.
Yeah.
Can you check the file? Can you check the Can you just?
Oh no, I just looked at it.
It's still going.
Yeah, it's
okay,
still
cool.
going. We're fucking live.
All right.
That's what's going on.
All
It's
right.
barely 7 o'clock. We still got plenty of time.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, I'm trying to think some other games. Huh?
I don't know, an hour and 13 minutes.
Oh, is that? Did you see the time there? Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, we're going strong.
Okay, so what do you think about this Call of Duty coming out with like the
I don't want
the
you guys can go ahead.
the battle royale?
Okay, so yeah, I did. Who's that?
It's Bryce. As in copying like Fortnite.
So we'll find that out tonight. We're gonna play some Call of Duty. I got Call of Duty Black Ops, and we're gonna find out what this is all about tonight. Should be interesting. I just went and kind of bought it on a whim today, just because like I'm realizing, you know, as much as I'm not a big fan of Call of Duty, I feel like I should give it a shot, because like I'm big into gaming and I want to like review games and I want to talk about games and I want to understand, you know, things like, and I feel like it's a big game, it's a very relevant game, and I should definitely give it a shot and I should definitely buy it. So that's what I did today. So I went and bought it, and I'm actually excited to play it. Like, I am excited to give it a shot, and I'm excited to like play it with, you know, my friends here tonight and things like that. So should be interesting.
I'm trying to think of the last Call of Duty I played. I think it's Black Ops 2.
Well, before this one, I did play World War II, Call of Duty World War II.
That is right. I did get World War.
I did play World War II, but like I don't consider that something that I play. I just played the campaign. I just bought it for the campaign. But as far as like a Call of Duty where I've gotten heavily into the multiplayer aspect of it, the last one was Modern Warfare 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, do we want to keep going? Do we want to start wrapping it up, or what are we thinking, guys?
Does anything else feel like talking about?
I'd say no, save it for the next one.
Save it for the next one. So maybe
covered a good amount of shit.
Yeah, and I'm starting to get a little hungry. So yeah, I think we'll cut it a little short today. I know last week we went a little bit longer, but I think tonight was just kind of weird and interesting because our original guest did have to cancel, so we just threw this one together real quick, and Vinny stepped in. I appreciate that, Vinny. Thank you very much.
With this time.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm down to do it again. Yeah, of course.
We'll do it again.
I'm down. It's fun.
Cool. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and stop it right there, and next week we'll have another one out next week. So do you want to press stop there? All right, guys, signing off.
Peace.
Take it easy.
Later.
Did you press stop?
No, it's still going.
Oh, still.
There you go.
Awesome.
I think.
Yeah, it looks like that.
Yeah. No.
No, it's still going.